Good afternoon and welcome to the Quadruplex here in Wisconsin Rapids as the Wisconsin Valley Conference contest with the Wisconsin Rapids Red Raiders coming into this contest with a 5-1 record, 1-1 in the conference, and the Marshfield Tigers with a 7-2 overall record and 1-0 in conference will be battling here this afternoon in a very, very windy afternoon. The sun is out here, though, but we have winds out of the northwest at 20 miles per hour, gusting up to 33 miles an hour. Temperature-wise, not bad, 49 degrees, feels like 42, but it is very, very windy, winds coming out of the northwest. I know doing a ball game at Stratford yesterday, players were hitting into the wind, and it was a real challenge. And now we've had the opposite as the winds will be going to our back, so the outfielders are going to have to put on their track shoes in a way and get rid of the cleats to chase possible fly balls going over their head. With me today is Braden Sutter, and I've never worked with Braden, and I'll tell you, I come up here, and he's a first-class act, and I think we're going to have some fun up here this afternoon. These two teams met last year. They came to Marshfield first, and Rapids lost at Marshfield last year, 4-1. But when Marshfield came here last year, the Rapids had them figured out and beat them 8-4. And Marshfield is coming off a great win just last weekend as they took on Holman and pounded out 35 hits and 33 runs in a doubleheader sweep, winning 18-4 and 15-5 down at Holman. In fact, the Tigers scored 17 runs in the final 4 innings of the opener and knocking out 17 hits in that contest. And leading the way in that contest was Lillian Griesbach. She had 3 hits, including a home run, and drove in 5. And Madison Kraus had 2 hits and 4 RBIs as part of that onslaught down there. And Molly Fox, the freshman pitcher, went the distance in the circle for the Tigers and struck out 10. In that second game, Angel Barnhart, another freshman pitcher, came up with the victory. And in that contest, the Tigers finished with 18 hits, including 4 by Kraus and 3 by Madeline Cole. And Kraus finished the twin bill going 6 for 8 and 5 runs scored and 7 RBIs as she knocked in 3 runs in the second game. And Taylor Weiss added 4 RBIs, and Lydia Garvin also drove in 3 for the Tigers. So they banged out 30-some hits, and just the bats have been working for the Tigers as they are off to a 7-2 start. And should be very interesting here on the mound as both Barnhart and also Fox have been pitching very, very well for the Tigers this year. Both are freshmen, as the starting pitcher from last year, which was Caitlin Sternweiss, and also Barwick, both were seniors last year. They have graduated, and so Coach Becky Linsmeyer, we'll get it out here. Linsmeyer has 2 outstanding freshmen that have been pitching, and all of a sudden now I look at the starting lineup for Rapids, and their 2 pitchers from last year are back this year, but starting for Wisconsin Rapids is a freshman in Peyton Jaminski. So we're going to have 2 freshmen on the mound. So both pitchers will be right around the plate as both Fox and Barnhart have been very consistent this season. Last year, Wisconsin Rapids finished 3rd in the conference, going 8-4, one of their finest seasons. And Marshfield had an off year last year, going 6-6 in conference, 13-15 overall. And so it turns out that this should be a very good contest between 2 arch rivals, as it usually is here in the Wisconsin Valley. So we're going to take just a little break here, and Braden's going to do a few commercials here, and we'll be back with the starting lineups. And we are brought to you by ShedsDelivered.com here on Zaleski Sports.
Hey, you're tuned in to Better Halves.
Skip, I love my hometown, and I want a health plan that feels the same way. So, what are your favorite local date spots?
Oh, yeah, I know like all the date spots in Eclair. Jane, I'm Steve from security. I've lived here in Wisconsin my whole life, and that means I understand your health coverage needs better.
By the way, Doug, it's Eau Claire. I have a dozen Eclairs in my dressing room.
Join the Gross family of satisfied customers at Gross Buick in Marshfield. Come see their large selection of cars, trucks and SUVs on the Marshfield lot. Or find it at grossauto.com, and we'll have it delivered to Marshfield for your convenience. You'll love their people and state-of-the-art service department, where service guests get a free courtesy car. Top it all off with the Gross lifetime engine warranty on most vehicles. Gross Buick of Marshfield.
And we're back here at Wisconsin Rapids, and the coaches, Isaac Holberg is the head coach for the Red Raiders, and for the Marshfield Tigers, Becky Linsmeyer in her 4th season. And she has, I had it here just a minute ago, but, here we go. Becky is in her 4th season. She's got an overall record of 47-36 in her career, and she was the head coach, or the coach of the year, her first season, 4 seasons ago. So Becky's done a really nice job with this crew. So the starting lineup for the Wisconsin Rapids Red Raiders, leading off and playing left field, is Gabby Nightlight. Batting second and playing shortstop, Sydney Holberg. Batting third is the center fielder, Kristen Radke. Batting in the cleanup spot and playing third base, Annabella Ross. Batting in the 5th spot, the pitcher, the freshman, Peyton Jaminski. Batting 6th and playing right field is Rachel Linsmeyer. Batting 7th and catching is Ellie Rapier. And batting 8th for the Red Raiders, the second baseman, Nolita Carroll. And batting 9th and playing first base is Allie Blanchard. And the starting lineup for the Marshfield Tigers, leading off and playing center field, Delaney Varsho. Batting second and playing catcher, Lillian Griesbach, the second-team all-conference catcher last year as a freshman. Batting third, the third baseman, Lydia Garvin. Batting in the cleanup spot in the second-team all-conference last year for the Tigers. She was playing third base last season. Now playing first base for the Tigers is Madison Krause. Batting 5th and playing shortstop is Ryan Costa. Batting 6th, the left fielder, Madeline Cole. Batting 7th, the pitcher, Molly Fox, another freshman. And batting 8th, the right fielder, Taylor Weiss. And batting 9th and playing second base is Layla Upman. Valley Conference standings right now is DC Evergreens are 2-0. They knocked off Stevens Point 7-1 a week ago. Very surprising, but the Evergreens over the years has been very, very tough and contending for a conference title pretty much every year. The Marshfield Tigers are 1-0. They did win conference 3 years ago. And then we've got Wisconsin Rapids, Lincoln Red Raiders, Wausau West, and Merrill Blue Jays all at 1-1. And then the Stevens Point Panthers 0-1, and Wausau East Lumberjacks at 0-2. Overall records, the Evergreens are 6-0, Marshfield 7-2, Lincoln 5-1, Wausau West 1-4, and Merrill Blue Jays 4-2. And now here's the national anthem. here for first pitch here from the Quadplex here in Wisconsin Rapids. And the pregame show is brought to you by Shoot a Funeral Home. Shoot a Funeral Services in Stevens Point and Plover is here to help you with all your funeral needs with 2 convenient locations and a personal local touch. Let their experienced staff serve your family. Learn more at shootafuneral.com. That's shootafuneral.com. And finishing that out, Stevens Point is 3-2 on the season. They were one of the top teams in the preseason top 10 in the state of Wisconsin, and they've already fallen twice this season. And then Wausau East Lumberjacks are 1-5. Other games in the Wisconsin Valley today, as the Valley is going pretty strong here, is that Merrill's at Stevens Point, and Wausau East is DC Everest, and Wausau West is off today. Games coming up this coming Thursday is Stevens Point is at Wausau East, Wisconsin Rapids is at Merrill, and Wausau West comes to Marshfield, and I will be doing that ball game for you on Thursday night from Madison Field in Marshfield, located on the campus of Marshfield High School. As starting pitcher Peyton Jaminski is warming up. Throw goes down to second. Will be just starting here just shortly as Delaney Varsho comes up to bat for the Marshfield Tigers. Delaney having an outstanding season. We haven't really got any batting stats yet that has come across the website on the Valley. But Jaminski gets the side and the first pitch and fouled off by Varsho as Jaminski starts this contest with a strike. And the first pitch was at 4:29, so we're looking at that. We're a minute ahead already. And a swing and a miss by Varsho. 0-2 count on the leadoff hitter, center fielder Delaney Varsho. As I mentioned, the winds are coming out of the northwest at 20 miles an hour with gusts of 33 miles an hour. Jaminski looks and just out low and outside for ball 1. Following Delaney will be Lillian Griesbach, who was actually a second-team all-conference as a freshman last year, followed by Lydia Garvin, the third baseman. Jaminski with the pitch and a fly ball out to center field. That's out to Ratke, and Ratke camps under it and makes the catch here for the Red Raiders. Lillian Griesbach now the catcher will be batting for the Tigers. Just an outstanding complex here. Now, this is my third trip here, and I've been on just 2 different fields here, but it's just a fantastic complex here. Well, changeup was, I would say, just a little bit high on that pitch by Jaminski for ball 1. And the pitch, and fouled off into the screen. Lillian Griesbach does. 1-1 count. Here, 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Just getting started here. As you can see by the camera, you got a wooded area in the back there. I bet you that really looks nice in the fall there with all the leaves turning. And a pitch as a delay call. Gus catches the outside corner for strike 2. 1-2 count now on Lillian Griesbach. Last year, Griesbach had like 40 plate appearances in conference and only struck out once and had 40 appearances last year. Jaminski. And a ground ball of shortstop. That's to Holberg and throws over to first in time for out number 2.
6-3 ground out.
As we got 2 outs now here in the top of the first inning. Third baseman Lydia Garvin.
As Garvin will take her first cuts. Here as she's over at third.
Jaminski
For the Tigers.
gets the sign and a shot foul.
Sends that one way out of play. Up over the screen.
Heads over towards the baseball field.
And she falls down to the count 0-1.
So 0-1 on third baseman Lydia Garvin. As Jaminski checks her wrist, and a swing and a miss. Mighty cut by Lydia for strike 2. 0-2 count now with 2 down here in the the top of the first inning. Krause on deck, and the pitch just inside for ball 1. 1-2 count.
avoid the contact.
as we do have quite a few games on the network today.
Jaminski.
I know Steve is over at Robinson Park,
One's upstairs.
so we'll take a look here of who we all got here. The count now 2-2 on Griesbach.
And send the Rapids up to swing for their first time.
Usually I print these out, and I haven't printed them out today, so
That one's also
fouled off to the right-hand side here. And computer's a little slow today. Yeah, we've got Auburndale at Assumption, Pacelli at Medford in softball. Greenwood is at Loyal in baseball.
even count here.
And a pitch inside and low. Ball 3-2 count on Griesbach.
Here with 2 outs.
And then Marshfield baseball is taking on DC Everest today at Marshfield. And also in baseball, Merrill is at Stevens Point, and Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln is playing at Wausau East on the network. So get quite a few choices. I know later on I looked at our schedule. We've got actually, I'm thinking it's sometime in May, we have like 26 games scheduled for on the network in one day. And I'm wondering how we're going to get those. Yes, exactly. It's just crazy. But, and a shot, foul, and just out of play. The count remains at 3-2 for Griesbach as she's hanging in there. Dimensions here is 210 down the line. It's pretty much 210 all the way around. Pretty much all the softball fields, it's actually standard distance is 210 for girls fast pitch. Jaminski with the pitch and fouls it off as Griesbach has fouled off like 5 of these pitches here to stay alive. Nobody on. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Garvin. And ball 4 as Lydia gets a walk. You know, I'm glad Braden's here to straighten me out. Thanks, Braden. As Lydia Garvin heads down to first base, and the cleanup hitter, Madison Kraus, second team all-conference last year, infielder. And Kraus fouls one back for strike 1.
0-1 now the count. 2 outs here on the top of the first.
As Marshfield hammered out, 35 hits last week against Holman in a doubleheader sweep. Jaminski with pitch, and Kraus fouls it off into the screen. 0-2.
Cut foul. Lydia Garvin over at first. She drew a walk.
And Jaminski steps up to the rubber, gets the sign, and the pitch. And a swing and a miss by Kraus as freshman shoots a fastball past Madison Kraus for out number 3. So the Tigers come up with no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left after having a play from the quadruplex here in Wisconsin Rapids. In this Wisconsin Valley contest, it's Marshfield nothing and Wisconsin Rapids coming to bat. And you're watching Wisconsin Valley Conference Softball here on Zaleski Sports, brought to you by ShedsDelivered.com.
Tired of hearing about checking account features? So are we. It's more about what you can do with your money to live the life you want. Forward Bank puts your access to everything you need in the palm of your hand. Mobile deposit, recurring digital payments, transfer funds, or pay a friend easily. Yes, our checking is free and includes all that you would expect. It's supported by your neighbors and friends at Forward, dedicated to serving our communities. Open online today at forward.bank.
Hi, I'm Big Clarence, and I'm so terrific that Mall Furniture decided to name their latest and greatest sale after me, Big Clarence.
Sorry, Clarence, apparently you misunderstood. It's Mall Furniture's clearance sale. And right now the savings are phenomenal on all the top quality furniture at Mall Furniture's clearance sale. That's Mall Furniture's clearance sale.
Clarence!
That's clearance, Clarence.
And we're back here at the Quadruplex, and leading off for Wisconsin Rapids is Gabby Nylitz, the left fielder. Gabby last year hit .289 for the Red Raiders. And Fox. Pitch off Fox's glove to the second baseman, throws over to first, and not in time. That'll be an infield hit for Gabby as they get the infield hit for Nylitz to start out the inning here for the Red Raiders. Bringing up Sydney Holberg. She was a unanimous all-conference selection last year, hitting .389 with 1 home run and 10 RBIs last season. Fox rocks and fires and a strike. And Nylitz, as that will be a pass ball. As catcher Griesbach had control of that ball, it was right to her and it popped out of her glove. So it will be scored as a pass ball. Fox with an 0-1 count on Holberg. Rocks and fires. And a changeup just missed.
And that one will miss the zone. 1-1 now the count.
Set your sails and let the winds guide you to River Edge Golf Course for a return of Friday Fish Buffet, but only on 4 Fridays. They've actually only got 1 left. You can get Cajun broiled and deep fried fish, and the pitch comes in and it's low. And plus all the extras. River Edge Friday Buffet returns Friday, March 28th. You have 1 Friday left, but only for a limited time. And like I said, it's only 1 Friday. Fox looks for the sign and delivers, and it's high, and it's a wild pitch by Nylitz. Goes to third on the play. Guys, just think, prom is just around the corner, and she'll remember prom for the rest of her life, and make sure her prom flowers are the best of the best from Hefco Floral Company in Patriots Tower in downtown Marshfield. Has a count 3-1 to Holberg, and fouls it off and goes to 3-2. Was quite interesting going through the stats from last year of Wisconsin Rapids and Marshfield. Each team returned 9 ball players from varsity experience from last year. Fox looks for the sign. Holberg, left-hand hitter, rocks and fires. And high, ball 4. Is now batting the third, or the center fielder, batting in the 3 spot, Kristen Radke. And looking at last year, Holberg did have 3 stolen bases in conference last year, so she may be a threat. Right-handed hitter, Kristen Radke. Fox rocks and fires. And a shot out to right field and gets by the right fielder, Weiss, all the way to the wall. And coming around to score is Nylitz and Holberg, as Kristen Radke picks up a 2-run double out to right field, as Wisconsin Rapids jumps out to a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. So 2 RBIs right away for Kristen Radke. And Fox will now face Annabella Ross. And Ross takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Annabelle last year hit .353 for the Red Raiders with 8 RBIs. And she's also a threat to steal also when she gets on. She had 4 stolen bases last year. Fox looks for the sign, rocks and fires, and high. Ball 2. 2-0 count to the right-hand hitter, Annabelle Ross. In fact, Annabelle's on-base percentage was outstanding last year also, with a .488 on-base percentage. And just catches the outside corner for a call strike. 2-1 count. As the crowd here, not too bad of a crowd, for a windy day here. Fox rocks and delivers. And calls strike two. Right catches the inside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Raiders up 2-0 here in the bottom of the first inning as Kristen Ratke with a 2-run double to get the Rapids on the scoreboard, and fouling it off is Annabella Ross.
She'll fight to see another. 2-2 count now here on Ross. Counts even, but she's down 2 strikes nonetheless.
2-2 count for Ross.
Shorten up and protect.
And the pitch by Fox with a changeup bounces in front of home plate. So works the count to 3-2.
Full count on the Red Raiders third baseman. With Radke over
As
second.
Fox
RBI
approaches the rubber,
pitch to hit.
gets the sign,
As Fox.
and fires. And ball 4.
Walker.
And
That is ball 4.
we have runners at first and second now for the Red Raiders with nobody out. And calling time as Coach Costa, the pitching coach, goes out to talk to Fox. For expertise, honesty, and stellar service, look no further than Heritage Auto Body. Their team of professionals uses the latest technology to ensure that your vehicle comes back to you looking like new. They provide free estimates and work with your insurance company to make it easy for you. Heritage Auto Body on Heritage Drive on Marshfield's south side. And at Stratford Plumbing and Heating, your comfort and convenience is their top priority. They service all brands, new complete furnace and air conditioning installation, providing professional service to Stratford, Marshfield, and the surrounding areas. Call Stratford Plumbing and Heating today, your home comfort experts. As the conference breaks up, we've got an infield fly rule in effect as the umpires give the signal to each other. And coming to the plate for the Red Raiders is the number 5 hitter, the pitcher, Peyton Jaminski. Right-handed hitter. Freshman against freshman here. And first pitch high for ball 1.
1-0. They count on Jaminski. RBI opportunity for her.
It's actually nice to finally get some ball games in. In fact, if people can remember, let's go back about 5-6 years ago. I'll finish the story right after this pitch. And Fox with the pitch is down low. As we had like 3 years in a row, right around tax time, we had 3 big snowstorms with about 10 to 14 inches of snow going back about 4 years ago. So we had that COVID in there, and we had snowstorms to beat heck during tax time. And the next pitch, ground ball to short, throws over to third and gets the force. It was a ground ball over to Costa as she throws over to Garvin to get the force at third. So 1 down here in the bottom of the first. Advancing to second is Annabelle Ross, and Jaminski will get credited with a fielder's choice on that. So runners still at first and second, now with 1 out, and Linsmeyer at the plate. As Linsmeyer last year is a returning ball player, she batted 188 for the Raiders last year, as she had 36 plate appearances. Right-handed hitter, and falls right back. Thank goodness for the screen, or it would have been sitting right in our laps right here. Braden's got great hands up here. He would have caught that. He's got to protect the camera up here, otherwise he's in trouble. Yeah, there you go.
Even count here.
So 1-1 count to Linsmeyer, and pitch upstairs, 2-1.
Ball 2, 2-1 now.
Ross at second, Jaminski at first, 1 down here in the bottom of the first inning, and Rapids leading 2-0 on a very windy afternoon, but bright sunshine to go with that big wind. And the pitch, and a fly ball out to center field, and that's over the head of Varsho, all the way to the wall, and Jaminski, as Jaminski goes to only second. It's a long single for Linsmeyer as that went over the head of Varsho. And Ross scores from second to make it 3-0. But it was far enough that Jaminski must have thought that it was going to be caught by Varsho, but so she's only at second, and Linsmeyer at first, but with an RBI single. And the score is 3-0 and not 4-0, as the scoreboard says. There we go. As the scoreboard puts her back up there, it's 3-0 with runners at first and second, and still only one out. And the number 7 hitter, the catcher Ellie Rapierre. And the pitch. And a call strike right on the inside corner. So 0-2 to Ellie. Red Raiders with 3 hits in this inning. And also 2 walks, one by Holberg and one by Ross. And a swing and a miss by Rapierre for strike 3. And that's the first strikeout by Molly Fox. And 2 down now here in the bottom of the first inning. And bringing up the number 8 hitter, the second baseman, Nalita Carroll, the left-handed hitter. Fox looking for the sign, rocks, and throws. And Carroll fouls it off down the third base side. Defensive-wise for the Tigers, out in left field, left to right, Cole, Varsho, and Weiss. Garvin at third, Costa at short, Upman at second, and Kraus at first. Griesbach catching, and Fox on the mound. And a call strike as it catches the outside corner for 0-2 to Nalita Carroll. As this is, she did play for the Red Raiders last year and batted 172, and she's called strike 3 as second strikeout by Fox. But the Raiders come up with 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left. So after 1 inning of play, it's Wisconsin Rapids Red Raiders 3 and the Marshfield Tigers nothing. And you are watching Wisconsin Valley Conference Softball here on Zaleski Sports, brought to you by ShedsDelivered.com.
Welcome to Bruce Orthodontics, where we provide comprehensive orthodontic care to patients of all ages. We are now accepting new patients, and we accept most insurances.
Orthodontics is much more than just a job to me. It is my passion and my life. What separates us from other orthodontists is constant continuing education for myself and my staff, compassion, and dedication. Here at Bruce Orthodontics, we change lives one smile at a time. I'd love the opportunity to meet you and transform your smile.
Call us to set up your free consultation today.
Does your roof need attention? Don't replace it, restore it with Seamless Commercial Roofing. Our process is guaranteed and a fraction of the cost of replacement with no downtime. When your roof needs attention, call Seamless Commercial Roofing in Marshfield.
And we're back here at the Quadruplex here in Wisconsin Rapids. An outstanding facility here, 2 softball fields. They've got the synthetic turf on all the infields and regular turf on the outfields, and so you don't really have to cut it, and so it's outstanding complex here. You know, you get rain and boom, you can play right away. And leading off for the Tigers here in the top of the second inning is the shortstop, Rayanne Costa. As the first pitch to Costa is low and outside for ball 1. As Jaminski throws a fastball and cut and miss by Costa. Count 1-1. As the Marshfield Tigers will be in action this coming Thursday as Wausau West comes to Marshfield at Madison Field. And a fly ball out to left field, and charging in is Nylitz. Comes rushing in, looking right into the sun, and makes that catch for out number 1. So 1 down here in the top of the second inning. The left fielder, Madeline Cole, comes to the plate.
Madeline Cole will step up with 1 out here in the top of the second.
And Madeline squares around and fouls it off.
Foul that bunt back.
As Madeline was honorable mention all conference last year, as she hit .333 in conference play with an on-base percentage of .467 last year. So one of the 9 returning ball players for Coach Becky Linsmeyer. And a fly ball way up in the air. And Neelitz comes over and makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 down now here in the top of the second inning, bringing up the freshman pitcher, Molly Fox.
That will bring up the Tigers pitcher, Molly Fox, as we get a pitcher-pitcher duel here.
As
With 2 outs.
2 freshmen going back at each other. Actually back in the first inning for Jaminski, got a fielder's choice off her. And first pitch comes in, catches the outside corner for a call, strike 1 to Fox.
To make quick work for the sitting, Jaminski does.
Fox steps out of the box, gets her composure, steps back in.
So far here
As Jaminski checks her arm on what pitch to throw. And she rocks and fires and catches the inside corner for strike 2. Beautiful fastball by Jaminski. She works the corners and great control on that fastball. She's got a little problem with her changeup. She just, gets a little too much height on it, but otherwise as fouled off by Fox as the count remains at 0-2. We're in the top of the second inning here at the Quadruplex in Wisconsin Rapids, and Rapids out in front 3-0 as they put up 3 runs on 3 hits and also 2 walks in that first inning. Jaminski with a pitch high for ball 1, 1-2. Following Molly will be the right fielder Taylor Weiss. Jaminski checks her arm again and rocks back and fires, and a ground ball to Carroll. Carroll throws over to first to Blanchard for out number 3. So the Tigers go up 3 down, 3 up, 3 down in the top of the second inning. So after 1.5 innings of play, it's Wisconsin Rapids 3, Marshfield nothing, and you're watching Wisconsin Valley Softball here on Zaleski Sports, brought to you by ShedsDelivered.com.
Hey everybody, Nat over at Wheeler Chevrolet GMC, and I am standing in our all-new Express Lane. Open now, no appointment necessary. Stop on in and get things like oil changes, filters, quick lubes, no appointment necessary. See you soon.
The Sports Den, located on Marshfield's sunny south side since 1975. The Sports Den has the area's best selection of outdoor equipment. Find top brands of snowshoes, cross-country and downhill skis, snowboards, swimming equipment, skateboards, and more. The Sports Den has a full-service bike repair center along with top bike brands, Specialized, Trek, and others. The Sports Den is Central Wisconsin's fat bike headquarters. Visit the Sports Den in Marshfield Monday through Saturday and thesportsden.net.
And we're back here at Wisconsin Rapids. Infinity Exteriors, installing peace of mind, roofing, siding, and windows built to last, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. We guarantee quality you can trust. And Bruce Orthodontics provides comprehensive orthodontic care for parents of all ages. They are now accepting new patients at their Marshfield office and accept most insurances. At Bruce Orthodontics, they're changing lives, one smile at a time. Set up a free consultation. And leading off for Wisconsin Rapids, the number 9 hitter and first baseman, Allie Blanchard. As I mentioned, the Tigers will be in action on Thursday as they are playing hosting Wausau West, and then next Monday they will travel to Mosinee, over to the Mosinee Athletic Complex to take on Mosinee, and then a big one on next Tuesday, the 22nd, when they travel to DC Everest to play the Evergreens, who's leading the conference in the Wisconsin Valley. And first pitch comes in, and ball high and outside. And Wisconsin Rapids has a busy week this week, as on Thursday they will travel to Merrill at the Merrill Area Recreation Center to take on the Blue Jays. And then on Saturday, and a swing and a miss by Blanchard, and makes the count 2-1. And Raiders will take on Jefferson over at Plover, and that game starts at 1 o'clock. And then on Thursday of next week, they'll take on Wausau West and travel up to Wausau. And that contest starts at 4:30. Next pitch comes in to even the count at 2-2. As Blanchard, the first baseman, only played in one game last year of varsity experience for the Red Raiders, as she is the starting first baseman for Wisconsin Rapids. Coming up next will be the leadoff hitter, Gabby Nylitz, who had an infield hit, a shot back to the mound. Blanchard takes a look, and just outside, ball 3. 3-2 count to the first baseman, Allie Blanchard.
With a 3-2 count, no outs. Here in the bottom of the second.
Fox gets the sign from Griesbach. And the pitch, and fouls it off. Mondays were made for Mac. Get to Nuts Deep 2 in Marshfield for Mac Mondays and try one of their delicious Mac options. There's a whole menu of options at Nuts Deep 2 in Marshfield, so hurry in and find your favorite at Nuts Deep. 3-2 count to Blanchard. Fox with the pitch. Down low. There's a ball. That is the third walk that Fox has given up.
In this instance, that is not how that one works.
And back to the top of the batting order is Gabby Nylitz. She's had an infield single and scored back in the first inning as she scored on that 2-run double by Ratke to give Rapids a 2-0 lead, and squaring around the bunt as Blanchard gets a big lead and gets back in time. As low for ball 1 to Gabby Nylitz. Fox gets the sign from Griesbach, rocks back and fires, squares around, and foul ball as Nylitz fouls it off. Well, they're talking back in the 50s in decent weather starting this weekend. By the way, from all of us from Zaleski, hope everyone has a happy Easter this coming weekend. And a bunt out in front to Fox. Fox feels it and throws over to the second baseman. Upman covered the bag on the play. So that will go 1-4, but get credited with a sacrifice, so it's not a time at bat. And moves over to Blanchard, moves over to second on that bunt. So with one down, brings up all-conference shortstop Sydney Holberg and fouls it off the first pitch. Sydney walked back in the first inning, and she was a part of that when Ratke got the double, as Nylitz and Holberg scored on that double over the head, and fly ball out to left field, and catching it is Cole, as Cole makes the catch on the shot by Sydney Holberg for out number 2. And coming up is Kristen Ratke, who had that 2-run double back in the first inning to give Rapids a 2-0 lead. Fox looking for the sign from Griesbach, rocks back and fires, and checking the swing and getting by Griesbach as runner Blanchard will advance on that wild pitch. So with a runner at third and 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning, Rapids leading 3-0. Fox rocking back and fires. And a fly ball out to right field and over the head of the right fielder Weiss, and scores Blanchard and her double. Second double by Kristen Ratke, as she has picked up another RBI. So with 3 RBIs by Kristen Ratke, And Ratke last year hit 222, and she had 5 RBIs last year in conference play. So, I mean, she's got 3 already in this contest. So, a big improvement over last year, and hitting in that number 3 spot for Coach Isaac Holberg. Fox with a pitch way outside. 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning, and Rapids ahead 4-0. 1-1 count on the cleanup hitter, third baseman Annabella Ross. Fox fires and catches the outside corner for a call, strike 2. Special thanks to our game day sponsors, Brown's Bar, Woodfield Inn and Suites, Rem's Funeral Home, and G&D Wood Products. Fox rocks and swinging him and fouls it off as Ross has the count at 1-2 with 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning.
Here with 2 strikes and 2 outs here in the bottom of the second.
Fox looking in, the grease box signal, and pitch upstairs, and makes it 2-2. So we have all 2s across the board. 2-2 count with 2 down here in the bottom of the second. Sounds like a 4 of a kind to me. Pretty good hand, even though it's 2s. And whoa, jammed her with that pitch from Fox, and Ross fouls it off to the left. That was actually a high fastball. She jammed that. I mean, that was clear. She's got a face mask over her helmet there, and that pitch was up by the face mask, and she was jammed and fouled that thing off. And a changeup upstairs, and works the count to 3-2 with 2 down. As Raiders have 4 hits in the contest and 4 runs to go along with the 3 walks that Fox has given. And Ross fouls it back to the screen.
And we will see another one as she continues to work in battle. And this one, long ABs benefit nobody else but the batter. Pitchers tend to get frustrated and a bit fatigued when they have to work on the same batter.
As Fox takes the look and rocks and ball 4. That is now 4 walks issued by Molly Fox. We have runners at first and second now with 2 down. And coming to the plate is pitcher Peyton Jaminski. And last time up, she hit a ground ball to the shortstop as Ratke was thrown out at third base on that ground ball. And so with 2 down and an 0-1 count here on Jaminski, Fox with the pitch and a call strike for strike 2. Right at the letters. Fox getting the sign from Griesbach. Rocks and fires. Just outside.
Christian Radke on second. She wrote the double to the wall. Earlier, her second double of the day. She did the same.
Fox steps up to the rubber. Gets the sign. Rocks back. And delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. As that is the 3rd strikeout by for Fox. And that's a Jamie Wenzel strikeout. And Jamie Wenzel strikeout. Call Jamie Wenzel at Surf Pro for the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration. Surf Pro like it never happened. So Wisconsin Rapids comes up with 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. So after 2 innings of play, it's Wisconsin Rapids 4, Marshfield nothing. And you're watching Wisconsin Valley Softball here on Zaleski Sports, brought to you by ShedsDelivered.com.
Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield has tasty char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between. Check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See Chips' complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream, all served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield. Be a champ and have a chipperific day.
And we're back here at Wisconsin Rapids, and we will be starting the top of the third inning. And trying to get my scoreboard all set up here. And Rapids has now stranded 4 runners in this contest to go with the 4 runs that they have. And leading off for Marshfield here in the top of the third inning, the right fielder, Taylor Weiss. And first pitch comes in low for ball 1. Weiss actually last year appeared in 11 conference games last year and hit 182 and hits a line shot down the right field and actually out of the ballpark.
Down the first base side, she made real good contact on that. Just wasn't able to straighten it out and put it in play.
So Weiss,
bad news for the Red Raiders.
yeah, I'm looking for my program here also. I've got way too many sheets here. And the next pitch down low for ball.
Low. There's Weiss. It's ahead now, 2-1 the count.
Jaminski steps up to the rubber, gets the sign,
The second base
and rocks.
kinda hopping there a little bit. Is that one
Ooh, that looked pretty good from up here. It's, I think Weiss got a gift on that one. But you know they say there's a lot of umpires usually in the stands, but and there's the only one you go by is the guy that's behind the plate. And a swing and a miss, strike 2 to work the count 3-2 now to Taylor Weiss.
All 3 girls in the outfield are wearing that extra layer to combat the cold.
Weiss is number 8, and a ground ball. The second base, Carroll, throws over to Blanchard in time for out number 1. Bringing up the second baseman, Layla Upman. And Upman, for the Tigers, played only in 1 game last year for the Tigers at the varsity level. So she is the starting second baseman for the Tigers this season. And first pitch comes in right down Main Street for a call, strike 1.
Strike 1.
Jaminski on the rubber, rocks and fires, and pitch up high for ball 1. 1-1 count.
Moore runs this one even. She has now worked this to a 1-1 count.
1 down here in the top of the third inning. This game moving right along.
Varsho on deck as the lineup will turn over.
And a swing and a miss, strike 2.
1-2 now the count.
As we are sitting at 10 minutes after 5 here in Wisconsin Rapids.
As Jaminski is in her third inning of work.
Jaminski rocks and swing and a miss.
The strikeout.
Strike, and that is the second strikeout by Jaminski. And 2 down now for the Tigers. Back to the top of the batting order is Delaney Varsho, the center fielder, and she flew out to the center fielder back in the first inning. And a call strike on Delaney Varsho. Delaney playing very well as in the game against Chippewa Falls. She had 3 hits in that contest. So she's been hitting the ball very well this season. And that one's really short as it bounced, I would say at about the 35-foot mark. And then rolled across home plate.
1-1 the count on Varsho.
1-1 to Delaney Varsho. And low and outside for Ball 2, 2-1.
Tally count with 2 outs, nobody on, in the top of the third.
Jaminski.
Jaminski got Weiss to ground out to second.
Rocks and fires, and Delaney with a shot out the left field, and it's going to fall in for a base hit. As Delaney gets the first hit for the Tigers. And we'll bring up the catcher, Lillian Griesbach. As the Tigers get their first hit, so there will be no hitter today in Wisconsin Rapids, unless Steve has one over at Robinson Park. But Jaminski with a shot, fly out to Linsmeyer out and right, and makes a fantastic catch as the wind caught part of that and fooled Linsmeyer a little bit out there, but she made a heck of a catch for out number 3. So the Tigers come up with no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. So after 3 or 2.5 innings of play, it's Wisconsin Rapids 4 and the Marshfield Tigers nothing. And you're watching Wisconsin Valley Softball here on Zaleski Sports, brought to you by ShedsDelivered.com.
Is your business, church, or organization getting a fair deal on your copier contracts? Do you even know how much you're spending? Bauer & Fine Business Technologies has been in the office technology industry for 70 years. We have an award-winning service department, and customers love our fair and flexible service contracts. If you're currently a customer, thank you. If you currently work with one of our competitors, let's talk. We can tell you if you're overpaying or getting a good deal. BBT, we want to be the easiest vendor you work with. b-bt.com.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
And we're back here at Wisconsin Rapids as bottom of the 3rd inning, and Rapids leading 4-0. When buying or selling, Brock & Decker Real Estate is the team you need by your side. Brock & Decker has all the tools you need to feel confident in selling or buying. Call Sammy or Sue today or visit them on North Central Avenue at brockanddecker.com and like them on Facebook. And on the mound, working her 3rd inning here, is Fox. Line shot down the left field line and just foul as Cole stretched out and just missed catching that. But it was only foul, I would say, maybe by a foot, if less. And it's a tough call for a home plate umpire to make that call, especially when you've got your left fielder leaning out, stretching out to make that catch. But a great effort by Cole out in left field. Fox with the pitch, way outside for ball 1 to the right fielder, Rachel Linsmeyer. Rachel had a base hit, an RBI base hit back in the 1st inning as she knocked in Annabelle Ross. And the next pitch is upstairs for a 2-1 count. Rapids out-hitting the Tigers 4-1 and leading on the scoreboard 4-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
As Linsmeyer leads off, the bottom of the 3rd.
Fox finally gets the sign from Griesbach, and a swing and a miss by Linsmeyer.
She's going to want that one back. That was a good pitch to
As a 2-2 count now to the right fielder, Rachel Linsmeyer.
2-2 with no outs here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Fox rocking and delivery, and a little brush back there by Fox, and works the count now to 3-2 with nobody down. Coming up next will be the catcher, Ellie Rapierre.
Good eye on Linsmeyer.
Linsmeyer waiting for the next pitch and fouls it off off the screen down the right field side.
On the first base side. She will see another.
I mentioned the first time I came to this complex, these dugouts are bigger than some college dugouts I have seen. I mean, they're just huge. But, and it's just unbelievable. And a call, strike 3 to Linsmeyer, as Fox will pick up her 4th strikeout. And one down here in the bottom of the 3rd inning brings up the catcher, Ellie Rapierre, as she struck out swinging back in the 1st inning. As Rapierre, who is a junior for the Red Raiders. Raiders only have 5 seniors on the roster, so kind of a young ball club. And a lot of confidence in pitcher Peyton Jaminski. As you look at Sophia Nelson and also Bailey Williams, both pitchers from last year are back. And Nelson was actually 5-1 conference last year, and Williams 3-3 in conference last year. So a very good pitching staff now. 3 very quality pitchers for head coach Isaac Holberg. The count 3-0 now to Rapierre. And a call strike, as Rapierre did not get the green light, as she just let it go by her for a call strike. 3-1 count now with 1 down here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Fox with the pitch. And a call strike right at the knees on the inside corner. As Fox is working the corners, I'm really surprised that they actually are letting her with that towel. To me, that would be a distraction, as that wind would actually, blow that around, and you wouldn't tell if that was that or a ball coming. But swinging and missing is Rapierre for out number 2, and that is strikeout number. You're watching Wisconsin Valley Softball here on Zaleski Sports, brought to you by ShedsDelivered.com.
Hi, I'm Josh Marks, owner of Infinity Exteriors. 9 out of 10 brand new roofs can't pass a simple manufacturer warranty inspection, meaning 9 out of 10 brand new roofs have no warranty. Infinity operates on principles instilled in my Marine Corps service: honor, courage, and commitment. Infinity is meticulous craftsmanship, unbeatable quality, and always at the best price. Infinity buys more, pays less, passing those savings directly to you. We're booking new roofs, siding, and windows. Call today.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
And we're back here at Wisconsin Rapids. I'm just looking over the roster here for actually the Tigers. And it's really ironic. Both teams have 5 seniors on their rosters. And Marshfield has, when you think about it, a very young ball club, as they got 3 juniors, 5 sophomores, and 2 freshmen. And coming to the plate for the Marshfield Tigers to start out the 4th inning here is the 3rd baseman, Lydia Garvin. And Lydia walked first time up and takes the first pitch for ball 1 here in the top of the 4th inning. Following Lydia will be Madison Kraus and Rayanne Costa. And pitch up high for ball 2.
Not let that one get by her. Let's take quick reaction times.
So, Jaminski looking for the sign. Rocks and fires. And upstairs for it should be ball 3. And finally, they do correct that on the scoreboard up there. Jaminski looking in and fires. And ball 4 as Garvin gets on for the 2nd time in this contest, as she has walked twice. Helps her on base percentage. Coming up, the cleanup hitter, Madison Krause, the first baseman, as she struck out for the third out in the top of the first inning, struck out swinging. And a shot down the right field line is foul. Tigers with not really much offense, as Garvin has been on twice by walk and the base hit by Delaney Varsho back in the third inning to break up the no-hitter bid by Jaminski. And a shot, and it's going to fall in there for a base hit and knocked down nicely by Nylitz, as Madison Krause gets a base hit and moves Garvin over to second, as the Tigers are threatening here now in the fourth inning. Marshfield can be explosive, as against Holman, they put up a lot of runs in they put up like 15 runs in a 3-inning period in that first game against Holman. So they do have the firepower to actually do that. Rapids leading 4-0, and at the plate now is Rayanne Costa, the shortstop, as she flew out to the left fielder back in the second inning. 0-1 count to Costa, with Madeline Cole on deck. And the pitch, and a swing and a miss, strike two. Garvin at second, Krause at first, as Krause picked up the second hit for the Tigers. Jaminski as low and outside. The count now 1-2 to Costa, as Rayanne is only a sophomore. She's got 2 more years of varsity ball. And a ground ball to first, and throws over to third and not in time, and that will be scored as a fielder's choice. And so now bases are loaded. On a play like that, you have to get it out when you can get it, because she definitely did not have a play at third, as it was a long throw, and she kind of trapped the ball instead of fielding it cleanly, I should say. But it a little slip of the tongue there. Braden's getting a good laugh out of me here today, at least. Bases loaded with the Tigers, and a pitch up high. So 1-0 count, and bases loaded for the Tigers. First big threat they have had here in today's contest. Jaminski, and a fly ball, and out to center field, and throw, and as Radke, after making that catch, got that in very quickly to the cutoff, Holberg, and Holberg, in fact, Garvin only maybe got about 3 steps off. It was that quick. And so bases are still loaded with 1 out, as Cole flies out to the center fielder for out number 1. Molly Fox, who grounded out to second back in the second inning, and looks at the first pitch for a call strike. 0-1 count. Tigers down 4-0 here in the top of the fourth inning. And just outside, as Jaminski works the count to 1-1 with 1 down. Bases loaded. Garvin at third, Krause at second, Costa at first. Jaminski with the pitch, and foul ball out of play.
Count on Molly Fox.
As the wind has died down a little bit here in Wisconsin Rapids.
Pitcher duel.
As the trees back in the woods there are not moving as much as they were before. Jaminski with the pitch gets by, and coming in to score is Garvin. And Garvin scores for the Tigers as the Tigers get on the board and crawl as a score on a wild pitch.
Still down 3.
So down 4-1 now. And Kraus moving to third, Costa moving to second, and a 2-2 count on Molly Fox. And just missing another wild pitch as Kraus comes in. And Kraus, I'm surprised she did not slide because it was more almost a bang-banger at home plate. As Kraus does score, and it's now 4-2, and Costa moves to third as back-to-back wild pitches by Jaminski has narrowed the score now to 4-2. Rapids leading here in the top of the fourth. Next pitch comes in, and ball 4 to Molly Fox.
Ball 4 to Fox, and
now batting the right fielder, number 6, Taylor Weiss.
And coming into courtesy run is number 31, Cameron Pierce. Is now courtesy running for Fox.
You'd expect she's going to go out into the circle for a 4th inning of work if they're sending out the courtesy runner.
And Cameron last year played in one ball game for the Tigers at the varsity level.
On first, running for Fox.
And throw down to third. And base umpire called her safe. But there was a lot of moaning in the stands. They thought they had her. Cameron, a junior for the Tigers, and as a stolen base by Cameron Pierce. So runners at second and third, tying run at second for the Tigers. The count now 1-1 to Taylor Weiss, the right fielder. She grounded out to the second baseman back in the third inning as the Tigers have sent 5 batters to the plate. And the next pitch up high for ball 2. First base is open. But a base hit here by Weiss could score 2 and tie this contest. Jaminski rocks and fires, and a ground ball and a line shot right to the first baseman for out number 2. And second out, and will bring up Layla Upman. Layla struck out swinging back in the third inning. As the Tigers, it would be a shame if they didn't take advantage of this with runners in scoring position like that. As Upman takes a call strike on the inside corner. 4-2 lead for Rapids here in the top of the fourth inning with 2 down. Jaminski looking in, rocks and fires, and fouled off as Upman works the count now to 0-2 with 2 down.
For the second out, as Ottman.
Jaminski looking at her wristband on what pitch to throw, rocks and fires, and just misses inside for ball 2. 2-2 count now to the number 9 hitter, Layla Upman, the second baseman for the Tigers.
1-2,
And pitch upstairs.
By the catch to pop up and
The count is now 2-2.
so it doesn't get past.
They're doing magic things with the scoreboard out there.
The count is now 2-2.
Jaminski looking at her wrist. I feel a fastball coming from Jaminski. Ooh, an off-speed pitch for a call strike or swinging strike 3. As Jaminski picks up her third strikeout, but the Tigers come up with 2 runs on 1 hit And no errors and left. 2 on base. So after 3.5 innings of play, it's Wisconsin Rapids 4 and Marshfield 2. And you're watching Wisconsin Valley Softball here on Zaleski Sports, brought to you by ShedsDelivered.com.
Scotty's Pizza and Chicken, how can I help you?
Scotty's Pizza and Chicken has been voted best pizza in Marshfield 16 years in a row. Scotty's Pizza and Chicken is ready for your call now. Choose drunken chicken, BLT, Western, mac and cheese, sweet chili chicken, and more. Plus, Scotty's has broasted chicken, fish sandwiches, salads, and desserts. Scotty's Pizza and Chicken, 715-384-8118 and Scotty'sPizza.com.
Scotty's Pizza and Chicken, how can I help you?
And we're back here at Wisconsin Rapids as Rapids has a 4-2 lead here going into the bottom of the 4th inning. Express Employment Professionals has relationships with all the local businesses and job openings. Call or stop in at Express Employment to find the right career path for you. And leading off for Wisconsin Rapids here in the bottom of the 4th inning, the first baseman, Allie Blanchard. Allie walked back in the 2nd inning and scored on the double. And Allie gets a base shot, takes the first pitch, and puts it right up the middle for a base hit for Allie Blanchard. And back to the top of the order for the Red Raiders, the left fielder, Gabby Nylitz. As Gabby has an infield hit and scored back in the 1st and a sacrifice bunt back in the 2nd. So she is 1 for 1 on the day. And the first pitch comes in, down low for ball 1.
Nylitz with a sack bunt. Back in the 2nd.
As Rapids has a very big size junior class here. They've got 6 juniors on the team. And Nylitz hits one down the left field line, foul. And they have a freshman and they have 1 sophomore on this club. As Allie Blanchard is the only sophomore who just got that base hit out to center field. Right up the middle past Fox. Next pitch comes up and high for ball 2. 2-1.
Gabby Nylitz 2-1 now on her. No outs with Allie Blanchard over at first. She reached.
And actually, I'm really surprised that they're allowing the pitcher actually to wear white sleeves also.
As Fox.
And wind up and the pitch. It's a ball.
Outside for ball.
I know when I was umpiring, we would not allow that, because that towel is a distraction, and also the white sleeves would not be allowed either, unless they've changed the rule. But that would not be allowed. And next pitch is ball 4, as Nylitz works a walk, as now we have runners at first and second for the Red Raiders here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And coming up is Sydney Holberg, first team all-conference left-hand hitter. And Holberg is a junior. As I mentioned, she was in a unanimous all-conference selection last year. And first pitch comes in low for ball 1. Sydney has walked and scored back in the 1st and flew out to the left fielder, Cole. And rocks and fires and down low.
2-0 now on Holberg.
2-0 call on Sydney Holberg.
The junior shortstop, Sydney Holberg.
And we're going to have a conference here, and so they're going to have a little conference out there. So we're going to take a little break too, and we're going to thank one of our sponsors. So we're going to be right back in just a little bit, and it's brought to you by ShedsDelivered.com.
Take your valuable possessions from outdoors to indoors with help from ShedsDelivered.com. It's your one-stop shop for sheds, barns, cabins, garages, greenhouses,